I've been working as a freelancer, content creator, videographer, photographer, whatever you want to call it, for almost 2 years now. And I thought we should take a look at two of my very first paid client videos that I ever did. Personally, when I watch a lot of creators on YouTube, I usually see their latest stuff. I never see like what they actually did when they first started out shooting client videos or something like that. So that is why I want to like show you these two videos and then talk about them and what I could have done differently with those videos so that you can like get a head start when you start shooting client videos yourself. The first video that we're going to take a look at is made for an event that is called Action Run, which is basically like an OCR race with like people running and jumping over obstacles and stuff like that. And the plan with this video was basically to create a hype for the first event that was going to be like at the beginning of spring. And I shot this entire thing with my Sony a6300, my Sigma 35mm, and my Xeon, I think it was like Xeon Crane 1. Sound design on point. Ooh, it's too overexposed. Why do I have like a shot of his butt? I actually think that this is still kind of good. There's a couple of things that I probably would have changed. In the beginning here, I would probably try to use like a couple of more wide shots. And then there's this one shot of Isaac like running next to a tree, and that is just completely static and it feels totally out of place when you compare it to the other kind of shots that I have in the video. A little bit less slow-mo would be good for the running to make it a little bit more intense and feel, you know, like a little bit more professional, if you may. And the exposure is way off. I did not know how to like expose with the S-Log profile. The only thing that I knew was that a lot of YouTubers was shooting in S-Log, and therefore I should shoot in S-Log as well. But like, it does take a lot of practice when you're shooting in S-Log. Do some tests before you actually go live action with a client shoot. And then again, I would probably like reduce the amount of slow-mo that I had in this video because it's really dramatic. What I would do is probably have a little bit more like faster cuts and a little bit more, you know, 25 FPS, if you may. And again, like, why do I have a shot of his butt? You know what? I'm gonna frame his butt because it's gonna look really good into the video. I would totally remove that and probably like put his face there instead, or his hands, or something else, like not his butt. But you know, this video is actually my very first paid commercial that I've ever done. So I think it's turned out great, and this was basically after shooting video for, I think it was like 1 year, 1.5 years, something like that. I'm kind of proud of it, and I really like looking back at it because it feels nostalgic. Huh? The next video is a promotion that I did for a gym called St. Iron here in Gothenburg, and this is like taking me back to those fitness roots that I got. So let's take a look at that. That is so hardcore, you know, walking with the chains. Whoa. Oh, I really like that whole vertigo shot. It looks dope. I remember when we dropped that into the ground and it cracked like one of these kakelplattorna. I really like that commercial. I really like the up-tempo of it, and that it doesn't rely on the slow-mo capabilities of the A6300, because everything that you saw was shot in 120 FPS. And I remember that because when I got home to edit that footage, I realized that I shot everything in 120 FPS, but the lights were flickering. And the reason for that is because I live in Sweden, so we have everything set here to 50 hertz and not 60 hertz. So I remember that, you know what, I can't have this because like everything is flickering. It was like super annoying, and I tried to like reduce the slow-mo takes in that video as much as I possibly could and try to go for like the slow-mo takes where we had a lot of like natural daylight. So a couple of things that I would have done differently today is, one, make it shorter, because like the attention span is not that long. Like nobody wants to watch a commercial that is like 1.5 minutes. Like I would probably drag down to like 40 seconds or something like that. I really like the choice of music that was done because it feels epic, it feels cool. I probably would have added in like a lot more heavy breathing, some like hard punches when he's punching the boxing bag. And again, as you can see, I'm relying heavily on having those detailed shots in the video, which is good because it actually gives you this immersive feeling. But when you have too many of them, it feels like you don't really know what is going on because there's only details of everything. There's no like wide shots. So that is probably something that I would have changed to make sure that I got more like environment in the whole shots as well, because the only environment shots that we have is basically when I'm showing the gym at the fast cuts at the end. Another thing that I would have done is to make sure that my white balance was correct. I remember that I had to color grade this so hard to get even like the slightest similar tones to what it looked like in reality. If you have the possibility, just grab your like camera, take a test shot, import it into your computer, and then see how it looks. I mean, it looks good, but it could have looked even better. And the gear that I used to shoot this video was the Sony a6300 together with the Xeon Crane 1, I think. And then I used the Sony 35mm 1.8 with OSS that is made for crop sensor cameras. And I also used the Sony Zeiss 55mm f1.8 because I had that lens at this time. So the lenses that I probably would have chosen today if I would shoot this commercial again would definitely be a wide lens such as the Sigma 16mm f1.4, and then I'd still probably use the Sony 35mm 1.8. To be completely honest, I do think that this looks really good for being shot with the Sony a6300, and as I said in one of my previous videos, like the Sony a6300, if you're just starting out, it's going to be a really good camera for you to like get everything rolling, because that is the camera that I used when I was starting out. Something that I highly recommend you to do every single day as much as you possibly can is to practice editing, because editing is going to be like 80% of your video. Like if you can't piece those clips together, then that is gonna like everything is gonna fall flat. I mean, bad footage can be saved by a good edit, but good footage will not look good when you have a bad edit. Don't get caught up that you need to have the latest and greatest gear on the market, because you can produce some really good content with a camera like the a6300. So I would love to hear what you thought about these videos, because these were my very first paid client videos. So drop a comment below. Really hope that you enjoyed this video, and thank you so much for watching. If you liked it, thumbs up, Benna, and if you haven't subscribed, right here, down here it's gonna be this. Again, this is just a call out, but oh, nej. Until next time, I say goodbye. Hello. Nah, I'm just gonna end it. All right? 3, 2, 1.